Ray is basically Colt, but with cooler looking hair and 4 bullets in his main attack. The controls are almost identical, but Misfitz has power-ups. If you're like me and play a ton of Brawl Stars, then you'll find that it shares a lot of similarities with Misfitz, and that's what I want to talk about today. This will help us answer the question, is Misfitz truly a game worth sharing? Okay, honestly, I already think that Misfitz is an incredible game, but maybe this video will show you that while the two games are similar, they both offer their own unique, exciting experiences. I think lore is a good place to start off, like the story behind each game. Brawl Stars lore is basically, there's a theme park, people touch gems in this theme park, and they get superpowers. In Misfits, we are literally fighting AI slop. So there's this AI called Zero that's over-optimizing the city, removing everything that's human from it. So we're basically hunting for these things called the relics that contain the culture of everything human. And that's why in Misfits, your goal is to be the best relic hunter possible. Let's talk about the gameplay. So in Brawl Stars, there are like 15, probably more game modes, although we only play 2 of them, like let's be real. Misfits doesn't exactly have game modes, it's an extraction shooter. So essentially you hop into this massive world where you hunt for relics through fighting bots or players, and there really isn't a predefined way to win in Misfits, but the goal is to extract as many relics as possible. If you're worried about there being a lack of variance in the gameplay, it is a thing that the developers are working on, and there has been success in this genre, like Arc Raiders, huge success. Search it up if you don't know what it is, it's insane. And there is also teaming. So if you play Showdown, you know. Teaming really sucks. In Misfits, they have an intentional teaming system though, and what I mean is you can go near a random person, and if you're both not in a team, you guys can become a team in the middle of the match. It's crazy. You can also disband at any time. But what being in a team does is it gives you the ability to share power-ups when you use them, and it lets you get an increased luck bonus, so you get slightly rarer loot. I feel like teaming might still be a bit of an issue, but definitely nowhere near as Brawl Stars, because the main incentive in Misfits is to be the best relic hunter, collect as many relics as possible, while in Brawl Stars you need trophies. So in Misfits, to get these relics, you can just open chests and kill bots. There's really no need to hurt anyone at any point, if you think about it. But in Brawl Stars, you need the other players to lose trophies for you to gain trophies. So it's a very different experience. The controls. You can definitely see that there is a lot of similarity between the main attack and the ultimate buttons. I mean, I think it kind of naturally makes sense that the attack and ult buttons are there. I feel like this is kind of intuitive. I've actually looked at other mobile games that are like top down. They also have abilities like in the same place. There's only so many different places you can put the controls that are pressed by your thumbs, otherwise it just gets weird. Like playing Brawl Stars or Misfits like this, by the way, does not really work. Just look at me. If I play a game like this in public, people will look at me and think I'm some sort of idiot. Why is this guy holding his phone like that? But yeah, the point is, there are only so many places they could put the buttons on the phone screen. We don't have the purple button, the hyperchargers, and as for gadgets, in the place of the gadgets we have power-ups, which are kind of like Subway Supers, if you remember that event. So with these power-ups, you find them by destroying bots or opening chests, and anyone can use any power-up. If you're wondering if Brawl Stars skill carries over, it 100% does. I've reached Masters in Brawl Stars 6 times, and I can pretty consistently take down the other players that are Legendary and Mythic. On the other hand, there is this guy with, almost 90,000 3v3 wins, and 9 out of 10 times I fight this guy in game, he absolutely destroys me. The heroes in Misfits do take some time to get used to because they are slightly different than Brawl Stars, but some of them do share some similarities. So let's go over that right now. That's the next part of the video. The Brawlers and Misfits comparison. The most obvious one is Ray and Colt, because they both have red hair, and their main attacks and ultimate are pretty similar actually. So Colt has 6 projectiles in his main attack while Ray has 4. This makes it slightly easier to hit in Misfits, although Colt now has his Buffy, which is just insane. In terms of their ultimate abilities, Colt has this barrage of bullets that go through walls, and Ray has this giant death beam laser. There is one really big difference, and it's that Ray's attack can't break walls. In fact, all the buildings you see, they're indestructible. You can't damage them or break through them with Misfit's abilities, so that is one thing that makes Brawl Stars really unique. For the coming character comparisons, the comparisons just get more and more nonsensical. I mean, we have Drip and Amber. Drip is kind of like Amber, but if Amber was a tank. So his main attack is pretty much exactly like Amber's, except shorter range. He's also a lot more tanky. His ultimate is actually a movement ability that lets him get closer to enemies. So it's really fun to play around with. Next up we have Beat, which is kind of like Bull's main attack mixed with Tara Super, but if it was persistent and stay there until you destroyed it. Rush is kind of like Tara and Mortis, so Tara's main attack of 3 tarot cards, and then like a Mortis long dash as her super. And lastly, Gloss is like Byron, but like a reverse Byron. This sounds so weird to say, like a reverse Byron. But yeah, Byron's main attack does damage over time, but that's Gloss's ultimate. Byron's ultimate does a single instance of damage, but Gloss's main attack is what does a single instance of damage. So you can kind of see what I mean. If I were to make more comparisons between the Brawlers and the Misfits, it would just not make sense, because I guess you could say Shade's main attack is like a permanently elongated Mandy attack, with the ultimate of Shade being a shot that roots you in place like Lumi's soup. It just doesn't make sense. It's a completely different character. I'm just realizing now that there are also skill trees and crafting in Misfits, huge part of the game. I could probably yap for like another 10 minutes about both the topics, so I'll save that for another video. Misfits definitely has area for improvement, and that's why it's still in pre-alpha, but I can say without a doubt though that it is not just a Brawl Stars ripoff. In fact, every Brawl Stars player that I've talked to in the Antihero Discord server about this says something like this. The controls are definitely similar, but the actual gameplay itself is completely different from Brawl Stars. You cannot compare the two games. Like, you cannot just say Misfits is Showdown, but like you get loot and then like you extract and then you fight bots. It's just completely different, okay? Maybe it's a thing that you have to try for yourself, but I definitely don't think Misfits developers copy from Brawl Stars for legal reasons, but they also care about the game, and you can see this in each of the playtests, the major playtests that they run. They're always collecting feedback, trying to make Misfits a unique thing on its own. However, I definitely do copy Brawl Stars content. For now, this is the Ryan the Cat scratching by, and I will see you in Misfits. Oh god. I'll be covering Misfits news, guides, and other silly shenanigans that I find interesting about the game, and if that sounds interesting to you, then subscribe.